what you're told by people who have vested interests in reducing global population.
The other thing that concerns me at the moment is the well, I think things like carbon dioxide in the atmosphere are being used as modalities of control.
Yes.
And modalities of financial gain with things like carbon trading. I mean, in the UK, we've got all this net zero stuff, but the Chinese are making, like, I don't know, 900 times more greenhouse gases than we are or something. The difference will be infinitesimal, but the opportunities for controlling the British population are really quite massive. And if you reduce carbon dioxide, you're going to reduce plant growth. And yeah. I feel that there is many factors globally attacking our agricultural system.
Absolutely.
And if people can control the agricultural system, they control the food, they control everything. Because if you're hungry, you'll do whatever it takes to get food for you and your family. So to use food as a modality of control is one of my main concerns at the moment. And we could talk about many things about this. Yeah. We've got the inheritance tax on farmland in the UK. We've got the global attack on the dairy industry. We've got individuals owning huge swathes of land around the world. We've got governments holding huge swathes of land around the world. We've got complete failure to look after the ecology of most of the globe's soil. And to me, this is just a recipe for disaster. I mean, I fear that massive global famine on a scale that we've never seen in recorded human history before is going to happen. Mm-hmm. And of course, psychopaths don't care about that.
No, they'll be taking, well, I mean, we know Fauci, for example, admitted to taking 6,000 units of vitamin D a day. And I'm sure he's told his friends. The whole thing has to be brought back to individual responsibility.
Yeah.
And that's why I believe that, unfortunately, we don't know how far it's gone. Has it gone beyond the point of no return?
Well, global systems are being manipulated. There's no question about that. And the degree to which global systems are being controlled is still up for debate. But the more you learn about these things, the more you have cause for anxiety. And
yes.
Maybe you and me won't see this, David, but
well,
the next generation will.
For my money, I've certainly had a very good, a very rewarding life, and I've earned more than enough money to I've got a thing called a pension. Several things. I don't know if you remember those back
yeah.
the days of the pension, but basically it means that if you survive, you you're paid on the back of all your friends who've died long ago.
It's true.
And no, it's we have a real responsibility to, in my opinion, and it'll sound like I'm plugging my book, which is only partly true, on vitamin D. But it really is important for people to realize that the lies that have been told about vitamin D. It's an extraordinarily safe natural substance. If you are overweight or have a problem with your bowels or liver, take calcifediol, which is the 25-hydroxylated form.
Which you can't buy over the counter in the United Kingdom, but you can in Italy and Spain.
You can in Italy, yeah. But you can buy the book and you can download the book for nothing anyway.
Yeah, we'll put the links to that. That's very generous. I mean, the reason we're doing this, it's not for ourselves. As I say, we'll probably. But by the time these catastrophes occur, we may not be here. But we are doing this for the next generation. It's and I feel that. I mean, I'm not putting myself in your professor of medicine category, but having studied things all our lives like this, I think we have a moral obligation to to talk about the risks and the dangers that we see coming.
Absolutely, and you know, the responsibility has to be the only way we can get out of this is by activating the International Criminal Court, which has a responsibility for identifying individuals. You cannot hide behind orders.
Correct.
You know, I was told
Nuremberg made that clear.
absolutely.
You cannot say I was just obeying orders.
No.
That does not take away individual accountability. Now, you gave this into the European Court of Human Rights in June 2022. What have you heard since then?
Well, we eventually, actually, Joseph Trito, our lawyer, Barbara Bonazzi and I, we actually physically on October the 10th of 2022, exasperated by a lack of response from the International Criminal Court, we went to The Hague in person. It's a very dangerous place, by the way, for old people to go, because there are cycle lanes and you can easily get killed, as I nearly was, by passing cyclists.
Yeah,
anyway,
you've got to get used to that in
you have.
Yeah.
Anyway, we actually eventually got acknowledgement, and we have an office of the public prosecutor number, and we've sent a further bit of evidence. So we have an OTP number, which is published actually in my book, I think, it's given there, this court has to start working properly, and you know,
but it hasn't done anything.
It hasn't done anything.
So it's not.
It's got all the evidence.
It basically hasn't taken your evidence, as far as you know. It hasn't taken cognizance of your evidence.
Well, I understand that the public prosecutor is under accusation of something nasty, but it's up to individuals and institutions to insist that the case is examined properly, and to accept that bio-warfare has to stop.
But in the last 3 years, it hasn't.
No. In fact, what I think we're seeing is the creation of this virus, and this is argued in our submission. The creation of the virus was done in order to make sure that there was enough panic around to force the vast majority of people to be vaccinated or pseudo-vaccinated with these RNA and DNA products, which, by the way, are bound to increase your vitamin D deficiency. And almost certainly, if you were taking vitamin D, that will have protected you against the more harmful effects of these pseudo-vaccines.
Yeah, but, because anytime you generate an immune response, whether it's a natural physiological one or an artificially induced one, that's going to use up vitamin D. It's going to deplete your vitamin D.
Because it codes for its own destruction.
And why on earth aren't doctors testing people's vitamin D levels and titrating it up into the optimum range? It's just not being done.
I'm afraid that we've seen basically the abolition of proper medicine.